are again debating this bill and this package again, a bill to propose changing our laws around adoption from a focus on what is in the best interest of the child to a focus on what is in the best interest of the placement agency. Naturally, many of us are taking to our feet and opposing this bill because that's absolutely the wrong focus. We need to be focused on the best interest of our children. That's why we should leave this law the way it is. But I think one of the things that's stirring a lot of the frustration around this law is that this law is a license to discriminate. And it's not just a license to discriminate, it's actually writing a check for the discrimination. This isn't just state-sanctioned discrimination, this is state-funded discrimination. And when dollars are coming out of the wallets of hardworking Michiganders all over this state, in the north, the south, Christians, Jews, and others, that money cannot be used to promote a religious agenda. And you just heard from my colleague, the wise woman from Taylor, some of the passages of our state constitution that this violates. But this is an unconstitutional and unwise proposal. You heard about Article 1, Section 2, and Article 1, Section 4. And I'm going to repeat, the civil and political rights, privileges, and capabilities of no person shall be diminished or enlarged on account of their religious beliefs. That's exactly what this bill does. This bill couldn't be a more straightforward violation of our state constitution and the oath we all just took than what we're seeing here before us, right? This is all about discrimination. And one of the biggest pieces of evidence is that right in the bill, there's some hand waving about how this isn't discrimination. All right, friends, that's a signal right there. When you see written into the bill, this bill isn't meant to authorize any discrimination, and then later on in the bill it goes right on to authorize that very same discrimination, that's what we call hand waving. That amendment didn't do anything to solve the problems that this bill creates. And that amendment, that substitute, didn't do anything to stop the lawsuit that the state of Michigan is going to be on the receiving end of if this legislature is foolish enough to pass this bill and this governor signs it. This is unconstitutional, right? It's also unwise, and I think my colleagues covered it well. I'm not going to beat the horse, but we know based on what's happened in other states that a policy like this is likely to result in less adoptions, more children waiting for adoptions, more unhappy families who want children, right? When you put up a biblical filter on whether or not prospective parents can get serviced and can make an adoption, you're going to have less adoptions, and you're going to have an unconstitutional law. Now, many of the comments, both in support and in opposition to this bill, are all really tightly hewn around this issue of LGBT families, right? There's folks on our side who say you can't discriminate against these families. There's folks on the other side who are saying we really desperately want to discriminate against these families. But that's not really what this is all about. If you read the language, it's far more expansive than that. This is not just about discriminating against LGBT families. If you read the language that we're about to vote on, it has far-ranging unintended consequences, right? There's a lot of different religions out there. There's a lot of different sincerely held religious beliefs out there. We've got religious beliefs that support racism. We've got religious beliefs that support child abuse. We've got religious beliefs that support all manner of things that are clearly illegal under Michigan law, and I don't think any of us would really support if we sat down and thought about it, right? Now just imagine this. Just imagine if we lived in a state where the state of Michigan was 85% Muslim, and we had a Muslim adoption agency, and that agency said, we're only going to adopt children from families that are compliant with Sharia law. Do you think that all of you would be voting for that? Do you think that you'd be coming here to Lansing today to vote for a bill that enshrined that in our laws? No, absolutely you would not. The only reason why you're supporting this bill is because you are blinded by your own faith, and you're putting that before your obligation to the Constitution. So I call upon you to vote no on this bill. I call upon you to reject this bill and keep the law like it is. Keep the law where the best interests of the child are our number one priority.
Mr. Speaker, on the question of final passage of House Bill 4188, there are 65 aye votes and 44 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving have voted